Okay, boundaries. So boundaries is a form of self-care and self-love. No one told you that. I'm here to tell you. It's definitely a form of self-care and self-love. Set appropriate boundaries. So important. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, the Divine Healing with Love channel. I am Nicole. I am here with you today, and I'm so grateful that you are here with me today, and I am here with you today. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome back to my Love Tribe, capital Love Tribe. Thank you all. So let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries are so important. Setting appropriate, healthy boundaries with people and things are so important. And when I say things, that could be like social media, other things that, maybe alcohol or food or drugs, things like that as well. But we're going to talk about setting boundaries with people. Let's start there. I'm going to get into boundaries with social media in another video. Setting boundaries with people. So I am a former people pleaser. I definitely struggled with that all my life. I felt like I had to please others to get validation and affirmation. I felt like, if I wasn't pleasing others, they wouldn't like me. They would not accept me. They wouldn't love me. So that was a belief, an entire belief system that I built from childhood, that I had to people please in order to be liked and accepted and loved. Okay. So I have that from childhood, teenage years, adulthood. So once I started healing and going through the awakening, I started realizing, and then tarot, I will pull oracle cards on myself. Like sometimes I would just do that just to start my day and, to figure out what I need to, focus on with my healing. I do this all the time. So I would see the card of setting boundaries and I would just be like, well, what? Like I was just I was so confused. I would just be like, what does that mean? Like, what do you mean I need to set boundaries? Like, Spirit, what do I need to do? So I would just be so confused. Like, I don't know. What does that mean? So I started looking at videos on YouTube and reading about it. And, most of the time, I'm an empath as well. And many empaths, if you identify as an empath, shout out to my empaths out there. Hey, y'all. So if you are an empath, we typically people please. We typically don't have appropriate or any boundaries with people. And our energy gets sucked up and sucked out because we're giving so much and we're not setting the appropriate boundaries to protect ourselves and protect our energy. So, I used to think like, that's another thing. So with boundaries, it's not just like some people have like boundaries with money. They don't let people borrow money or, they're very selective when it comes to their money, which is great. But what I started to realize, boundaries with your energy, because energy is currency. Energy is all we have. We are energy. So when you spend time or talk with this person or whatever, you're giving energy. You're giving and receiving. Hopefully you're receiving energy as well. But you're giving energy. So I started, evaluating what does that look like in my life? I had to really sit down and reflect. And I started realizing that certain people in my life at the time, I was giving so much energy and allowing a lot of my energy to be sucked up from them and their energy. And I didn't really have anything for myself to give, which is a problem. Or I didn't like how I felt after I got off the phone with them. Or, I just didn't like the way, like I felt depleted, I felt drained. And Spirit was trying to reveal, like, you shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't feel like you're just so drained, like you can't do anything. You're so depleted. You shouldn't feel like that. So I had to start looking at, like, what does that mean for me? Like, I'm giving so much out, but am I saving anything for myself? Because again, It's all about the love that you have for yourself. You have to love yourself first. You have to love yourself first. I cannot stress this enough. Self-love and having 100% full cup for yourself is so crucial, so important. So, when I started realizing that I didn't have anything to give myself at the end of the day, when I started meditating, I didn't feel like meditating because I was just so drained. That was a problem. That was an issue. And that's why the boundary card was coming up. I didn't have boundaries with people. I didn't have boundaries with things. So it was time to create boundaries. It was time, because I shouldn't feel so drained and depleted at the end of the day where I have nothing left to give for myself. And then it was also a situation that for my daughters, I wasn't able to give to them, which is definitely a problem. Because I'm like, look, if I'm giving to somebody, it's at least going to be to them. You know what I mean? Like, they have to get it. So I didn't have that energy. So I had to start learning to say no. And learning, which I literally just started embracing, because when I started to say no, I would follow up with not an excuse, but explanation, which is a no. That's giving more power away. So, because I felt bad, because I wanted to please and I didn't want to disappoint. I was so obsessed with not disappointing people. And I was so obsessed with pleasing, again, to feel loved, to feel affirmed. That was, because my whole thing was I had told myself, like, if you can get these people to affirm you, they will love you. Because I was so dependent on getting love from others instead of giving it to myself. So once I started saying, like, no to people, like, say, for example, a person wanted to talk to me on the phone. And I remembered that last time I talked to this person, the last couple of times I talked to this person, I didn't like the way I felt after our phone conversation. I felt depleted. I felt drained. I felt like they complained too much. I didn't like the energy. I felt, my energy may have been here when we began this conversation, but now all of a sudden it's gone down to here, low or lower. I didn't like that. So I would have to say, no, I'm sorry, I can't talk. And then that was another thing, I was apologizing. No, I don't need to do that. You don't need to apologize. But I'm just saying for what I was doing at the time. I was like, no, I'm sorry, I can't talk on the phone. Whatever may have been going on at the time. And then it was like, when I would say that, I still I felt better, but I didn't really feel good about it. Because it was like, why are you explaining yourself? You don't have to. I had to learn that no is a complete sentence. And it's hard. It's hard because, again, coming from a place where you're so used to people pleasing and you're so used to not disappointing anyone, I had to, that was hard for me. I was like, God, that's so harsh to just tell someone no. But then I had to say to myself, and that's when my higher self came through and my inner child. They were like, girl, you can't say no, but you're not feeling it and you don't feel good after. And it's like, who's more important? Are you more important or are they more important? And I had to put myself first. I had to say, no, Nicole is more important. Nicole's vibration, her energy is more important. So I had to set boundaries with that. And so it's not to say that, I can't talk to those people on the phone or anything like that, but I had to realize, okay, if we talk on the phone and it's 15, 20 minutes in and that complaining or that emotionally dumping on me or the emotional vampire energy is present, okay, I have to go. I'm sorry, I can't do this. I gotta go. I gotta get off the phone. And then eventually it got to, okay, I cannot have this person in my life anymore because I can't deal with that energy anymore. It's just my vibration and my energy is too important. I can't deal with that. And these are the things that you have to realize and say to yourself. Many empaths deal with this situation, and it's not just empaths, but for sure many empaths deal with it, where we feel like we have to keep taking it and taking it and taking it because we don't know our worth. We don't know that we are worthy, we are important, and our feelings are important. Don't let people make you their emotional dumping ground. I dealt with that for years. For years, people dumped on me. For years, like so many years. And I got to this place when I started healing. I was like, listen, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. I can't. I am more important. I had to say to myself, you are more important. You are worthy. You can have a friendship without an emotional dumping ground situation. Now, I'm not saying that, you can't have a friend that just needs to just unload and you're there for them. Yes, of course. That's what friendship is about. Sometimes we have those moments where you have to just unload. You feel like you can't do it anymore. But if it's like every single time you talk to this person, they feel like they're sucking the life force energy out of you. You feel drained. You don't like, so much complaining. It's so much negativity. You have to create boundaries. You have to figure out what that looks like for you. Whether it's telling that person you can't talk to them anymore. Whether it's telling that person, I'm sorry, like, we're going to two different places. Whether it's, telling them no and then just leaving it there. Because like I said, when you apologize or say sorry, you're giving away more of your power. Not as much as when you were talking on the phone and letting them just keep sucking the life out of you. Not as much, but it's still giving away power. If you have a friendship, they should be able to respect the fact that no, if I say no, then that's that. And you have to respect that and let's move on. It shouldn't be a situation where now they don't want to talk to you. Now they don't want to deal with you. They should be able to understand that. And you have to feel okay about it. And no one's going to be able to validate that but you. You have to feel okay inside. You're not going to get validation from others. They're not going to like it when you put boundaries up. I even had to put boundaries up with my kids. Again, these boundaries are flexible, but I had to put boundaries up with them. Sometimes my kids want me, like, let's say, I would take them to the playground, to the park. And I would bring my journal with me because I want to use this time to journal. And so they're like, mommy, play with us. And I'm like, okay, I'll play with you, but let me do my journaling. And, kids, they're like, no, do it now. Can you do it now? And I'm like, no, I'm going to take this time, 10, 15 minutes or whatever, to journal. You guys go play, and then I will come play with you. That's setting that boundary. Everybody is going to win, but I have to put myself first in this moment. And I need to do what's best for me. I need to take this time to journal or process or whatever I need to do. And I'll play with you guys in a little bit. And, that's that. And and I felt good. They felt good. They were able to still, I was playing with them and interacting with them. We had a great time, but I got to put myself first in that moment. And it all worked out for everybody. So we're going to be talking more about boundaries in other videos, but I'm going to stop this here. Thank you so much for being here. If no one told you that they love you today, I love you. I'm sending you so much love and light. So grateful that you were here with me in this video. Please like and subscribe. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel. I love you all so much. Thank you so much. Sending you love and light. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.